We can't hear you.
Hey, I'm sorry. Always a little technical issue. All right, welcome everyone. We're just gonna give it one more minute before we get started. We have a few more people that are, it looks like the system is allowing them to come into the meeting now. All right. Good evening, everyone. I am Calvin Harris, Assistant Director of Student Activities here at Hampton University. Thank you all for joining us this week for the Blueprint. We are building a successful HU experience, and this is really the first time Student Affairs has done a virtual information fair. So we are very excited. This is day 2. Today, we will be having the Health Center with us, and I will introduce Dr. Campbell, if you could go ahead and introduce yourself.
Sure, I'm Dr. Campbell. I'm the family nurse practitioner at the Health Center.
And Nurse King.
And I'm Sharon King, the registered nurse at the Health Center.
So on today, we're going to just give general information about the operations of the Health Center, things that you need to know when registering and being prepared to return. As everyone knows and is very excited in the community as well as here at Hampton, this fall, beginning in the summer, we will return with in-person instruction. So we just want to make sure that we get all of the information to you as much as possible. There will be a small moment after Dr. Campbell and Miss Nurse King explains some information to you for you all to ask live questions. We do understand that there may be a lot of questions out there, but please, if it is anything personal, we would ask that you just contact via email or contact the office on tomorrow, and that information will be, their contact information will be supplied to you as well. And if there's anything that you wish to review after this, all of our sessions are recorded and they can be found on our YouTube channel under HU Student Affairs. And that's also at the bottom of the flyer that you all received. So you ready? Okay. All right. So we understand that the mission of the Health Center provides outpatient health care for our Hampton University students. Could you all please explain to us what services are available from the Health Center?
Sure. So the Student Health Center, it is open from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Monday through Friday. And you are able to call the Health Center at 757-727-5315 to schedule an appointment. In addition, we are currently finalizing our process to where the students will be able to utilize the online system in order to schedule their appointments online. Walk-in appointments are offered for emergency situations, and students may contact the Health Center for a same-day appointment request. Now, after 5 p.m. and on the weekends, you can call the Hampton University Police Department at 757-727-5259 to have the on-call nurse at the Health Center paged. We do provide outpatient primary care services to include like colds, flus, minor injuries, male and female reproductive health care and screenings. Laboratory services are offered. Some of the tests are performed on site at the Health Center, and others are sent to an outside laboratory. We also provide referral to specialists, as well as we have a health educator on staff.
All right, so that's good. So it's good to know that we really are making all accommodations available to our students with being able to eventually soon be able to make their appointments online, as well as on-site same day things. So a lot of the questions after our last session that we did, everyone was still kind of wanting to know more about the whole telehealth appointment schedule. So could you explain the Health Center telehealth telemedicine services that are offered?
Thank you, Kevin. Yes. The health center does offer some telehealth, telemedicine services during normal business hours. And again, that is Monday through Friday from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. You do want to call the health center to ask to speak to a nurse. They will let you know if you meet the criteria for a telehealth, telemedicine service appointment. The informed consent form for the telehealth, telemedicine can be downloaded from the health center website. And you will receive an email you will email the following to the health center at hamptonu.edu. There will be like a signed telehealth, telemedicine form, your current telephone number where you can be reached, a copy of your valid HUID number, a copy of the front and back of your insurance card. The provider will actually email the HIPAA compliant Zoom link prior to your scheduled appointment. All students are required to be physically located in the state of Virginia at the time of the appointment.
Okay. All right. So I'm glad that you mentioned insurance, because one of the big things is, how do they pay for the services? Or what are the options of paying for services with the health center?
So if a laboratory specimen is ordered that is performed in-house, then the student is advised of his or her options, that they can apply the charges to their student account, or they may pay with cash, credit, or a debit card. If a student chooses to pay for in-house labs, the student will be sent to the checkout window in the health center to process the payment. If the student chooses to apply charges to their student account, a receipt, which is called a detailed walkout statement, will be provided for the student for in-house charges. A receipt is provided to the students, again, for in-house charges that will allow either you or your parent to file a claim with your insurance for reimbursement. If the specimen or laboratory specimen is to be sent to an outside laboratory company, then the health center laboratory technician, she will input all of the available insurance information into the computer so that the outside laboratory can then bill the student's insurance company.
All right, so I know we're giving out a lot of information. Could you just, is this information found on their website, on the Hampton University website?
They can actually call the health center,
Okay.
and this information is on the website as well.
Okay. So if you're missing anything and you just need to physically see it, please visit our Hampton University website and just go underneath health services, right? Or health center.
Yeah, our website is www.hamptonu.edu/student-services/health.
Okay. All right. So now here's the big question. We talked about a lot of things like the insurance so far. We'll go further into that in a minute. But to get us here, that's the purpose of today, to figure out what the parents and students have to do to get there. Do they have to be medically clear to return to campus prior to getting to campus?
Yes, Calvin.
Okay.
All students have to be medically cleared to return to class, return to housing. They have to be medically clear before they can return to do that. There is the medical med proctor process for each student to enroll in. They would need to use their activated Hampton University email, log into med proctor, create your account, or activate your account. If you're a continuing student, your account may have been put in archives, which means that you would log into med proctor and just let them know you need your account activated. And once they activate your account, you'll have access to it. The health center will be able to see it. You can upload any additional health forms that are required. So if you're a continuing student, unless you've done a readmission, the only thing you need to provide is your COVID vaccines or a religious or medical exemption, whichever applies. Once you upload that information, MedProctor will review it, and they will send you an email that says you're verified if you are verified. However, the final process for clearance is through the health center. So verification from MedProctor, the health center does the actual clearance.
Okay, so I just hear you using the service of MedProctor. What is MedProctor?
MedProctor is the electronic platform for our medical clearance for our students. We've been using it since 2017. One other thing I need to remind or tell students of, when you log into your new account, you will be, there's a $10 charge to create a new account.
So the $10 fee to set up your MedProctor account.
Yes.
Okay. So how do they go about registering and completing the medical clearance process for MedProctor?
They log into MedProctor with their student ID, their student email account. And then once they log in, they complete what's called a workbook, where they answer questions about their emergency contact, their home address, any medical information that they have that's related to their medical history. And once that is completed, it's called a workbook. Once that's completed, there's a section to actually go to the documents that apply to you according to what information you put into MedProctor. So once you see this, the area that says documents, you print the forms, have your doctor complete them, and upload them back into MedProctor once your doctor gives them back to you.
Okay.
You can do it with your phone, or you can scan it, either way.
All right. So with us registering for pre-college summer session as well as fall, are there any deadlines that they need to know about or have missed?
Yes, the deadline for pre-college and summer, May 1. The deadline for fall was June 1. We're still accepting information. We understand that everybody cannot get it, their information in as far as being a fall student. We will be accepting information up until the time you come. We don't want you to wait till then, because it's a few days processing that has to be done when it's reviewing, because we have so many students that have to be reviewed. If you're coming for the summer, your clearance should have already been in for review.
All right. And I know at our last session, there was a lot of talk about this, and I just want you to reiterate. How are they billed for the Gallagher Student Health Insurance Plan?
They are billed through the student accounts.
Okay.
That's the office that handles the actual billing for the Gallagher insurance. Now, the student or the parent, when you're filling out your information for Gallagher, you need to have your insurance card in your hand to answer questions. You also need to have your insurance card in your hand to answer questions when you're completing the MedProctor process. But once you put your information into the Gallagher website for waiver or acceptance of the insurance, then Gallagher will notify you whether they have actually accepted or that your information has been completed and put in there. Then you go through a review process through the insurance company to make sure that your insurance is comparable to use in this area. If it is not, if it's considered not comparable, then you would be charged for the school insurance. The other options would be an appeal through Gallagher. And if you do an appeal, they're going to want additional information from your actual insurance company to say that they will cover you for health emergencies, things like that in this in the Virginia area, Hampton, Virginia area.
All right. So now, Dr. Campbell, just explain, as we are opening back up the doors to Hampton University, what are some of the guidelines that students should be aware of that they'll have to practice for safekeeping while on the campus?
Yeah. So we do still require that a facial covering be worn that would cover your nose and your mouth, not only to help protect yourself and others. It is important that you wash your hands often with soap and water for at least 20 seconds, especially after you've been in a public place. or after, like if you're coughing or sneezing. If soap or water is not available, it's important to use like a hand sanitizer that contains at least 60% alcohol. We do still recommend that you maintain the social distancing by staying at least 6 feet apart from other people. And it's important to monitor how you feel and contact the health center as soon as you feel ill or you need healthcare guidance. Again, the health center can be reached at 757-727-5315 during normal business hours, Monday through Friday, from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. And again, after 5 p.m. and on the weekends, we do have a on-call nurse available at the health center that can be paged by calling the Hampton University Police Department at 757-727-5259.
All right. Yes, and I will be pleased to announce, as you all have heard, we have had so many upgrades to our campus. We have hand sanitizer machines, new soap dispensers, touchless paper towel dispensers, as well as the thermometers are around. So I do believe that you all have done a great job, as well as the fact that we will be supplying masks to students and our guests that come on campus. And then the air purifiers. Those were so we all feel safe. So now, like I said, we've done this before. So you all know the format. We're going to open up the chat lines. Now, everyone, this is your chance. We do have a few minutes to accept a few live questions. If you could just click and raise your hand. We do see a couple of hands already raised, and I'll let you in. So, and if for any reason there's something that we cannot or they cannot answer right now, we'll just ask you to send in the email and we'll get back to you. We do have limited support staff behind the scenes right now doing some research. So if you ask something and we have to take a second to research it and get back, please bear with us because we just want to make sure that we are getting you the most accurate information for your needs. So right now, let's go ahead and open it up and go ahead and get started. The first person I see is Jay Scott.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
How are you? Welcome.
Welcome. I have 3 questions. One, in regards to, I know, I believe Nurse King, if I'm correct, had mentioned that the medical clearance packages for, I guess, maybe the pre-college and maybe the summer students had already been mailed. Is there a timeline of when my daughter should be expecting her medical clearance package for fall 2021?
It's only one clearance process that's
Okay.
submitted. So once you submit that information, is your daughter coming for the summer?
No, she's coming fall 2021.
Okay, so when the information is uploaded into MedProctor, then that review is good for the school year and it's actually good for the whole time she's here at Hampton University, unless she leaves for a year and then has to return.
Right, but
Mhm.
I'm under the impression we submitted that back in May. And according to MedProctor, on their end, they verified and they said that approval is up to Hampton's, I guess, Health Center to get the final approval. So I'm expecting, like, from the correspondence I've been seeing, like when we show up on August 20th, we have to have financial package showing clearance, medical clearance. I thought that's a physical paperwork that we're going to have in hand to show whoever that she's like financially cleared, medically cleared, and whatever. Is that not true?
Yes, ma'am. If I'm understanding your question correctly, the one-stop registration is still working on that process, and students will be notified of their financial and medical clearance prior to arrival.
Okay, so probably July, early August timeframe, we should be receiving that?
Yes,
Or-
ma'am.
Okay,
And I don't think there's going to be any actual paperwork in your hand this year.
okay,
We're trying to have the access actually online.
okay. So will there be something emailed to her or in her portal? So just in case
Yes,
we have,
ma'am. The
okay,
portal, she should be able to go online and look and see if she's got a hold anywhere,
Okay.
and it'll tell her what she needs to do to correct any holes that she may have.
Okay. Now, in regard to this, we have our own personal insurance. So we've been trying, she's already signed up through Gallagher, and we've been checking ever since maybe April timeframe to see about the student waiver for fall 2021. But every time she logs into Gallagher and goes to the student waiver enroll link, it tells us there's no forms there. So I contacted Gallagher on Monday, and I was told by them that they have not received input from Hampton yet regarding what form to put there for parents to fill out for their students to not have to utilize Hampton University's health insurance.
Yes, ma'am. That is usually done in July.
Okay.
Student accounts office. They will send notification home to the parents. And again, I'm speaking for student accounts with my limited knowledge of what they do.
Okay.
They will send that information to the parents to have an access to Gallagher. It'll be a link that they can go on to and log in, put their information in about their insurance, and then Gallagher puts that information into their clearinghouse. And then you get notification that, yes, your insurance is good in Hampton, Virginia. No, it's not. Please appeal or whatever.
Okay. So that's student accounts is handling that.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And then I just want to clarify that the doctor did say, the director did say that students will be required to wear a mask, and I also heard about social distancing. So whenever they're out in public or whatever, they should always have their mask on and stuff of that nature, correct?
Correct.
Okay, all right. Thank you.
Thank
Okay,
you.
we answered your questions, okay?
Yes.
All right.
Jackie?
Good evening. I had a similar question about the waiver in Gallagher. So I'm still not quite clear because like the previous person said, we've been checking for a couple of months and they told us the same thing, that Hampton had not provided a form. But you're saying it's not so much a waiver form, but that we will have to input insurance information and that will act as the waiver?
Yes, ma'am. The Gallagher website,
Mhm.
the student account sends that information to you. You would do it electronically. So your insurance card, you have it on hand.
Mhm.
And fill in whatever questions Gallagher asks about your insurance, like the name of the holder of the card, their
Right.
ID on the card, things like that. And then Gallagher puts it through their clearinghouse. But
And that will constitute the waiver,
yes, ma'am.
but they have to approve it.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Okay, thank you.
Ms. Candace Montgomery?
Hi, actually, the one part of my question was just answered. My second question is just, I want to make sure I understand about the clearance. If my son, if we've submitted everything and he submitted his medicals for pre-college, we don't have to submit something else for the fall. It will roll over, correct?
Yes, ma'am, that is correct.
Okay, thank you.
Mr. Martin McClung, the third.
Hello, yeah, I wanted to ask a question about what was the Student Health Center website again? What was the name of it?
The website is do you want the email or the website? I apologize for both.
Both is fine.
Okay, sure. Okay, sir. So the email is healthcenter@hamptonu.edu, and the website is www.hamptonu.edu/student-services/health.
Student for the website, it was student.
Oh, I'm sorry, sir. Let me repeat that. www.hamptonu.edu/student-services/health.
Thank you very much. And one other question, when was the deadline again for the fall the fall health registry for Med Proctor.
The deadline for the fall was June 1.
Yes, but didn't you also say it was like an extension for it?
No, I said that even though the deadline is June 1, we would still accept any information that's being provided, for clearance. We're processing, through the whole summer. So if you miss the deadline, but if you have your information, please upload it because we've got a lot of students to go through, and we can just get you taken care of if you've already got your information done. But we do understand that, sometimes if you have to have a physical done during a certain time of the year, then that may delay your putting your information in, and that's quite understandable.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much. That's it for me.
All right, thank you. All right, next we have Miss April Parker. Or was it April Baker? I'm sorry. April Barbara, I do apologize.
Hi there. I thought you were talking about me. Good afternoon, good evening.
I was reading it, I apologize.
That's okay. And my question was answered. I actually had just lowered my hand. So thank you very much.
All right, thank you. And then Miss Martin, Sarah Martin.
Hello.
Hello.
So I have two quick questions. What are the required vaccinations other than the COVID vaccination?
Okay, the required vaccinations are a Tdap within 10 years, evidence of having had polio vaccination, measles, mumps, and rubella, 2 vaccines, meningitis vaccine, that's the meningitis A, hepatitis B vaccine, that's a 3-dose series, varicella, that's a 2-dose series. If you've done the screening on Med Proctor and you've answered any question that indicates you need a TB skin test, then that would be required also.
Okay. And then the second quick question, you just kind of touched on it because I'm in a weird conundrum where for insurance purposes, he has a well child visit once a year. His birthday is July 21st. So it's very late in the summer when we would normally go see his doctor and not be charged by our insurance company. So I got to figure something out because he's also in the band. So he's coming on campus very early, like August 2nd. So I'm just trying to, I guess I'm gonna have to call my insurance company because I don't want them to, like, they might not cover any such visit that is, within, they're basically going to consider it within the same year because he would have to go see his doctor before his birthday. So that's kind of like, I'm just a little not clear on how to figure that out. So, but it would be too late for us to wait until after his birthday because he's got to show up on campus by August 2nd for the band. His birthday is July 21st. It's really late in the summer. So anything before that, the insurance company would basically say we were going to get another well child visit like twice in the same year.
If you can get it done on the 21st or even the 22nd and upload it to Med Proctor that day, that gives us some time to process, because, a lot of people in the band gonna be sending information in at the same time.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
But yes, if you can get it in on the 22nd, and it might help to even call the health center. And
Okay.
say, hey, I uploaded my form. Can you do a review so that my son can get paid for the band? And then that way we know to look for that, or we, go in and clear him or take care of him on that day.
Okay. Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you. All right, I don't see any more hands. Do we have any more questions? All right, seeing none, I would like to thank everyone for joining us at this time. If you would like, at 7 p.m., using the same link, we will return back with Mr. Alton Wampler, who is a licensed mental health counselor here at Hampton University. And we'll be talking about all things Student Counseling Center offers for our students, as well as some parent services. Yeah. And then on tomorrow at 6 p.m., we have Student Support Services, and 7 p.m. Career Center, as well as at 6 p.m., testing services, compliance, and disability services for those students that need those additional services as well. And then closing out our session on Thursday at 6 p.m., we will have the Dean of Students, Mr. Alexander Whitfield, with us, as well as Lieutenant Michael Stewart. He is over at Hampton University Police Department. And then at 7 p.m., you'll be right here with myself, Calvin Harris, as well as my boss, Mr. Anzel Harrell, I'm sorry. And we will be talking about student activities and all the great events that we have planned for you there. Once again, if you did join us late and you wish to recap, please visit later on this evening by the morning time. This video will be uploaded on YouTube underneath our Student Affairs channel at HU Student Affairs. Just type that into the search engine and it'll take you to our channel. And you'll see the link at the bottom of the email that you received this invitation. Once again, thank you all. And please join us back at 7 p.m. for Student Counseling Center. Bye.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thanks for joining.